we welcome into studio the driver of the number 4 car, Noah Gragson, comes in hot. What's up, Noah?
Well, it is hot because we went to Hattie B's today for lunch, and that chicken is hot here in Nashville.
How did you? How far down the list did you get the shut the cluck up? You got to be careful.
So we started mild, medium, and then we went to hot. We skipped the next one, and we went straight to shut the cluck up, and it was hot.
How was it?
I ate a whole scoop of ice cream. I had a Coca-Cola freeze. I had a glass of lemonade. I had coleslaw. Just everything that I could do to soak it up.
Real deal,
and I've been
man.
peeing like every 20 minutes since.
Well, since you brought it up, everybody always wants to know what happens if you have to pee in the car.
Some guys do it.
They just go for it.
They'll just rip right on themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean,
One guy, Robbie Gordon, back in the day, he used to wear like a condom catheter.
Yeah.
And have a hose run down his suit and out the car, but that's no longer a thing. Guys, I've never had to pee on myself.
I mean, because you're sweating
it's
so much.
140, 150 degrees in the car during the hot summer months, so you're sweating 6 to 10 pounds of water weight out. I don't know if this is true, but I have a theory that I've had to pee before I got into the race car. And I get out, and I don't have to pee, and so I think like my bladder sweats out the pee when it's that hot.
My favorite biological function story in a NASCAR race, I think it involves a former boss of yours, Tony Stewart.
Yep.
You know the one I'm talking. Oh yeah, I forget the race, but
Watkins Glen. He won.
He won the race and went straight to the hall.
Oh, you can't say bad words on here?
You can't say. It's okay. We got it. Just don't pop it again.
Okay.
No, I get it. Podcast versus race. We still have the federal government.
Sorry.
Right? I mean, you can say ass, but you can't say that one. That's the one. You can't say the other one. Those two.
What's the other one?
The F word. You can't say those
I'm not familiar. Can you say it?
Yeah, right. But he did.
It happened to Joey Logano the other week, too, at Darlington.
Did it really?
Yeah, and I asked him about it.
That pleases me greatly.
How,
Noah.
Because our other buddy Harrison was on standby for him.
So
and it was a bad deal. I'm like, how did you race the whole time?
This is
like
awesome.
Just smushing around the whole entire race. 400 miles. Just 3 hours in his own.
In your own poop.
Yeah.
Well, the story was with Stewart that he was like, guys, I got to come in. Guys, I got to come in. Guys, this is bad. Guys, I got to come in. And then he was quiet for a while.
Up his back.
He was quiet for a while, and he goes, and his Zippy or whatever was like, you still got to come in? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And then they wrapped him up. He showered off. He said he cleaned himself up.
But he won the race.
Went back out. So he said it was like a fruit platter from the night before, like his motorhome driver. Because I asked him about it. I'm like, hey, like we were on this hunting trip and we're hanging out.
How do you bring that up, Noah?
I just asked him. I'm like, Tony's super cool guy. Like he's super down to earth. And we were getting into old stories and stuff. I'm like, dude, is this true? He's like, yeah, my motorhome driver had like this fruit or this like cheese tray the night before the race. And it must have been old.
That's awesome.
And so he takes a couple bites and he wakes up and he's like, oh man, I got to go race this long race and I'm feeling terrible. And he let it rip all over himself all the way up his back during the race. And yeah, it's brutal. I've never had that before.
And some people suggest you guys aren't athletes. How dare they?
Yeah.
How's it been? I mean, you got the full-time ride, your front row. I mean, the number 4 car. I mean, so were you at all nervous when Stuart Haas decided that they were going to close up NASCAR shop? I mean, talk to me about that process.
Yeah. So starting off the year at Stuart Haas, we had signed a multi-year deal, and so I thought that was going to be, my home for the next handful of years, if not longer, in my career, and we got the news in May, and it was crazy. Just day after day, you just don't know, and you're getting stressed out. And we started the year off hot. We had, some top 10s, top 5. We finished 3rd at Talladega for the spring race last year, and we were running really good. And then once they announced it, it was a big distraction, not only for myself, but for everybody at the shop.
Right.
You know, guys are wondering what they're going to do next year rather than how are we going to get speed in the race cars. And so I was really thankful that everybody, for the most part, stuck together throughout the whole year, because the ship could have hit the iceberg way sooner. But it was definitely emotional towards the end of the year. But a lot of the guys from the 10 car that I drove last year came over to Front Row Motorsports with me for the 2025 season this year. And it's been kind of a seamless transition. It's almost like we just picked up our group and moved over to a different race shop, essentially. So it's been pretty smooth so far.
And you got, I mean, you're in the number 4 car now, and the number's pretty, I mean, that's a pretty cool number to have.
Yeah.
Harvick, and I mean, and the history of the number. How's the season been going so far?
I think if you look at the result sheet, it's not good, but we've had a lot of speed at times. We've gotten stage points. We've gotten caught up in just silly wrecks and stuff like that, where it's like, man, we can't catch a break, but we just try to persevere, take every week like it's the next, and hopefully that the title change.
Do you like the new car? I mean, for you, I mean, how long has it been? 3 years now?
3 years, yeah. It's all I know in
it's
the
all
Cup
you know
Series.
in the
I
Cup.
only ran one race, which was the duel in Daytona in 2021 with the old car.
I mean, what does the garage feel like? I mean, and I'm not asking you to talk nasty about. I mean, I'm because from a fan perspective, it feels like they're almost.
It's hard to pass.
I mean, they're almost too tough, and they make it too tough for you guys to do what you do behind the wheel.
It's definitely important to be perfect throughout the weekend.
Right.
You have to be perfect. Yeah. Like, very rarely will you be able to come from behind. Like, let's say you're the fastest car all weekend. If you get a pit road penalty,
you're screwed.
You might run 25th. And we see that. Like, there's guys who will run 20th all day. They have a good pit stop. They get track position somehow. They take 2 tires, and they just ride 3rd or 4th, and it's like they're a race-winning car. And it's just because they have clean air. So it's definitely important to qualify well. It's important to race good and be perfect, have no mistakes.
I mean, but looking back on it, it's not as if the race. I mean, it's not as if it's not competitive. I mean, it's extremely more competitive than I think it's ever been. Would you agree?
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, it could, people like to pretend that, back in the 80s and the 90s that it was, I mean, in the 80s or the 90s, I mean, no offense to those guys that were driving back then, but, I could pick you 6 drivers that were going to win the race every week out of the 43. Right?
Now you don't, I mean, the first year of the next gen car, it's definitely somewhat made it more exciting because it's given a lot more people opportunity to win. In my opinion, the first year they had like 18 or 19 winners, which the year before they might have had 7 or 8, maybe 9. So double it.
Who's the biggest pain in the ass on the track?
Ross Chastain. His spot. It's because his spotter. His spotter just tells him where to go, and he just blocks everyone.
Every
No, just kidding.
He's trying to get a reaction for the other room. He's not getting a reaction for the other room. Every human being, myself included, that has ever been a part of iRacing has tried to pull that move that Chastain pulled, and we can't pull it off.
Wide open.
Yeah, just a wide open, just slide around the outside wall, which he claims that he did on iRacing, which is how he figured it out. But it was a pretty slick move.
We used to practice it in the simulator. So with the program that I was in, all of us drivers, with the manufacturer we were with, we would come up with different ideas. And you could see if you go back to the Indy road course race where he took the shortcut on a restart. I don't know if you remember that, but he went deep into the corner, took a shortcut, shortcut, and got the lead. We practice all that kind of stuff.
Talking about not just the race this weekend at Talladega, but also the upcoming race at Nashville Super Speedway. And I'm going to tell you how you can get tickets to that race coming up in just a second. It's the Cracker Barrel 400 happening Sunday, June 1st. Is this right? Is it a night race this year?
Yeah, 6 p.m. start. 6 p.m. start. I went to Cracker Barrel this morning. The Oreo pancakes, so good.
You're a pancake guy?
I like pancakes, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Some eggs, scrambled eggs.
Oreo pancakes, though?
They had the Oreo pancakes. That's what I got this morning. It was delicious.
Cracker Barrel's pretty good.
Cracker Barrel.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, you were born and raised in Vegas?
Yes, sir.
I did copious amounts of research for this interview, Noah. And is it true that your grandfather was the mayor?
Great grandfather.
Your great grandfather was the mayor of Las Vegas?
Yep, for 16 years.
Well, did you ever know your great grandfather?
He died when I was like 4 or 5. So I remember going to his house and stuff. And
growing up in Las Vegas must be like growing up at an adult Disney World.
It is, but we don't. It's like a normal city outside the Strip. Like, if you're a tour, it's kind of like
living in Nashville.
If you live in Nashville,
you're not going down.
How
you're not
often
going to
do you
Broadway.
go to Broadway?
Yeah, when people are in town.
Once a month, maybe.
Right, maybe
for dinner, drinks, maybe.
Right.
Like, we never go to the casino, so it's like a normal town outside of the Strip, but the Strip is centrally located. So, I mean, you grow up and you see things that you probably wouldn't in other states, or other cities. So it definitely is a cool place to be from now that I'm older and can responsibly go to the casinos and go gamble or have a few beverages.
What's your favorite game?
I used to be a big
casino.
blackjack guy, but now I'm like a baccarat guy.
See, you got that cup money. I see what you're doing there. See, and now
I limit myself to like $300.
You ever step up to the craps table?
I did.
Craps
once.
is very intimidating.
I actually did once last time we were in Vegas, and I lost all my money really quick. But bubble craps is fun. Have you ever seen that?
Bubble craps. I mean, from a craps guy, bubble craps is like that's what the plebes play.
I'm a plebe.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, it
comes to craps, there's too much stuff to understand for craps. So it's really simple, but it's not.
No, I mean, well, you gotta stay in your lane. You gotta keep out of that center stuff. Keep all the hard ways and all that crap. You gotta keep away from that and just keep on the point. So, at what point did you know that you want to race cars for a living?
I wanted to for a long, long time. Like, I started racing when I was 13. I've wanted to race cars since I was a little kid, but I never had the opportunity. I love dirt bikes, mountain bikes, snowboarding, skateboarding. Got the opportunity to go out and test a car when I was 13 years old out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was a Bandolero, basically a quarter-scaled stock car with a roll cage and a body on it, lawnmower engine. And from those first couple laps, I was like, this is what I want to do. And the rest has kind of been history. It's been something I've been pursuing for a long time now.
Was there ever this seems like a weird question, but was there ever a point where you realized I'm good enough to do this? I mean, because I'd like to race a race car too, but I don't have the talent. I mean, you've got the talent. So, I mean, having the want to and having the ability to are two different things. I mean, was there ever a time in your career where it was like, I'm right here with you're obviously with the big boys now.
Yeah, I've always believed that I could do it, but you don't know until you go out there and do it. So I was racing legend cars in 2014, and the next year we didn't know if we wanted to race, late models in Vegas, kind of ready to move up to that next step of full-size stock cars. And the guy who was running my legend car program, he worked for a K&N team, which is now ARCA team. It was called Gene Price Motorsports. Well, the two crew chiefs were going to buy the team at the end of the year, and they needed a second driver to be able to afford to buy all the equipment and stuff. So we signed up, and I was hoping to maybe get a couple top 10s throughout the season. I didn't know what to expect, not racing stock cars at all, and ended up third in my first race and won my third race out at Tucson Speedway. So that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh man, like maybe I can do this. And then you move up to the truck series and then start having some success there and then Xfinity level. And now we're trying to find success in the Cup Series.
What's the hardest part about what you do?
Keeping your confidence, just getting beat down every week and managing expectations. And there's a lot of people who rely on you as a race car driver, and there's a lot of people at the shop. There's a lot of people, and trying to do your absolute best and manage expectations, I'd say is definitely challenging. I try and go out there and win every race, but sometimes, a 10th place finish or a 15th place finish, whatever you got that weekend, it's kind of like poker. You got to make the most of each hand, right, in a sense. So I'd say just not getting beat down week after week. If, we're in a losing sport, If you win 1 or 2 races a year, that's a pretty good year. If you win more, that's a phenomenal year.
If you're not first, you're last. No, man, you can be second, you can be third. You're not necessarily. But
I just watched Talladega Nights last night, so.
Had you ever watched it?
Yeah, I watched it, but sure. I had to get a little last minute Talladega prep in before we go there this weekend.
What's that going to be like?
It'll be wild. It'll be chaotic. No, it's always a mess there at Talladega, but. It's a party. It's a party. If you guys listening haven't been to Talladega, it's a party with a race going on in the middle. I tell everyone, if you want to go to your first NASCAR race, go in the infield at Talladega.
If you've never been, have you been to Talladega Boulevard on Saturday night? It is.
I don't know if I missed a Talladega Boulevard.
They bring their own stripper poles, guys. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up.
No,
they park in there and I don't know if they're stripper poles. They're poles that women like to dance on. I don't know what else you would call them. Noah's getting very quiet right now, so I'm just going to keep talking. But all I know is what I saw.
It's a show, and
it is an absolute
you guys got to
show.
Go to see for yourself.
I just remember trying to go to bed at 3:00 in the morning. We were in the infield. I was sleeping in the back of my truck.
I've done that.
And things are finally calming down, right? And there's some woman screaming for her dog, Bo. Bo, come here, Bo. And I just remember some guy way out in the distance screaming, somebody either find or shoot that damn dog. I was like, that's Dega, baby.
It's wild. And my favorite part about Dega is they'll post on Talladega's social media. They'll post everything that people left over after the weekend. So there's
my goodness,
TVs and couches and lawn chairs and you name it.
And sometimes humans get left and they don't know where their groups went. Is that a fun style of racing for you, I guess?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a 200-mile-an-hour chess match. You're trying to position yourself up towards the front for the final pit stop of the race. And there's a lot of strategy that goes involved with the team. There's a lot of strategy involved with saving enough fuel to have a faster pit stop than the other guys on the last pit stop and trying to just gain as much track position. So track position is being up front. Obviously up front, it's a little easier to manage the race.
Is that just another evolution in the sport because I've noticed over the last couple of, or is it just a byproduct of the new car, the fuel savings? Because
the new car, I think it might be a little bit of the evolution of the sport, but a majority of it is because of the rules package in this new car. If they put, a huge spoiler on the car, and I don't know what they would have to do if they took the spoiler off, whatever they wanted to do with the aerodynamic package of the car, it might change that, but I'm not positive on that.
Because the idea is, tell me if I'm wrong, Noah, you're the expert, that they can get the tires done before they can get the fuel in.
Correct.
So if you can limit how long it takes to get the fuel in by saving fuel on the track, that's going to save you 0.4 of a second in your pit stop.
6 or 7 spots.
That's insane. That's
a lot, right?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, right. I mean, but that's what you're talking. So at a place like Dega and maybe even a place like Nashville, I don't know, your goal is to be maybe further back because if you're in the pack, you can save more fuel.
Yeah. So I either want to be leading the pack or I want to be in the very, very back. I don't want to be in the middle. In the middle, if there's a wreck that happens right in front of you, you don't have time to react, to slow down. You're getting hit from the back. So if I can't control the race, I ride around in the back and just save as much fuel as possible. But you can also save fuel from the front and just ride half throttle and let the guy push you around the whole entire track, beating your back bumper off. And that's another way. So there's a lot of strategy. There's a lot that goes into it.
I mean, is that fun, going 200 miles an hour and feeling your back end lift a little bit when somebody bangs into the back of you? Is that a fun experience?
You're white knuckling that thing around. If you're leading the pack, you're getting pushed in the back of your car. It's almost like being in a wheelbarrow. If you kind of, it feels like
you feel that on your.
It feels like the back of your car is picked up out of the track, and you just have like one wheel in the front, and you're just kind of going back and forth, left to right with the back of your car, and you're just getting hammered, just pushed.
Going 195.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not scared to wreck. You're more like, I don't want to wreck because I want to win.
Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, do you feel like that? I mean, the cars are so safe now. Does it encourage? I don't say reckless driving, but I mean, it encourages more aggression toward the end of a race.
I would say the format of the race with the stage points and how hard it is to pass. If you can maintain your position, the guy behind you might be a little bit faster than you, but it's so hard to pass that if you can just hold him off, that could be like Kyle Larson. He finished second in the regular season championship last year. He lost by 1 point. If he would have gained one more point throughout the season, he probably would have won the regular season championship. So every point matters. I think that's what makes the aggression level so high. You know, back in the day, they'd race a 36, 38 weekend race year, and guys would point each other by. There's a lot more respect. Now, if you win the race, you're locked in the playoffs.
Right.
You know, so every guy's racing every lap like it's their last.
Why, for the schmucks that are just watching on Saturdays and Sundays and don't understand all of this, why is it so much harder to pass in this car?
I don't know. And I think that's what the $1 million question is.
I don't feel so dumb now because
I don't know either. Like, they have done multiple things to aero adjustments and different tests. I've been a part of some tests where they've changed the underbody of the car, so the diffuser and all the aerodynamics of the vehicle to try and make it easier to pass. But that's NASCAR doesn't know. That's why. I mean, it's $1 million question right now.
Well, it makes for, I mean, it's fun to watch. I mean, it's fun to watch a guy that seems to be faster and then gets up there. And I mean, every weekend it's something different. If you don't win at Talladega, we'd really love for you to get your first victory. I mean, maybe the Chastain folks don't want you to get your first victory in Nashville, but I mean, I'm a fan now, Noah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the Chastain guys, they don't love me.
Well, you've got what is this the spotter in there?
Yeah. So it's my good buddy Brandon McReynolds. He is a spotter for Ross Chastain. So
the beloved and sometimes hated number one car.
Yeah, but
Watermelon Man.
Brandon and I used to race against each other, and he's helped me a lot throughout my career. He's been one of the biggest parts of my career. You know, we've been through everything together. So when we're racing each other on Sunday, there's no love lost. We still got each other's backs.
What's that relationship like with you and your spotter?
Well, I don't know. He might be telling Ross to wreck me or something, but
I mean, probably.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So, I mean, that relationship is, I mean, that's a pretty, I mean, is that really driver and spotter specific in terms of what that relationship on the radio is like?
Yeah, definitely having a good relationship with your spotter is important because that's the guy who's talking to you. He's our eye in the sky. He's telling us where the cars are around us and whatnot. So
got to have a lot of trust.
You got to have a lot of trust and a good relationship with that individual.
Do you ever have a spotter screw you?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You know, it's like
but you don't blame
I've
them.
messed up on that's part of this sport. Guys are going to mess up on the pit stops. I'm going to mess up on restarts.
Right.
Everybody messes up.
Well, don't mess up this weekend. We're wishing you luck at Talladega. We wish you luck at Nashville. And by the way, if you want to get tickets to the Cracker Barrel 400, go over to NashvilleSuperspeedway.com. That's NashvilleSuperspeedway.com. They've got all kind of weekend packages available for the June 1st race. It is a night race, which is a ton of fun out in Lebanon at Nashville Superspeedway. Noah, it's been a pleasure to get to meet you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, make sure you guys come out to the Nashville race. It's so much fun. One of my favorite weekends of the year at all the racetracks we go to. So I appreciate you having me.
I hope you get a guitar and don't poop your suit.